what is your mental picture of God? No, seriously, like if you have a minute today, grab a notebook or a piece of paper and sketch in your best stick figures, your mental image when you think of God. Is he a distant grandfather? Does he look more like Zeus? Is he kind of like a harsh principal? Is he this amorphous force? Like, what do you see when you think of God? The reason I ask is because this matters more than you think, right? If your picture of God is a distant grandfather, you'll think God doesn't care about your day-to-day life. If you think God is a harsh principal, then you're going to be a little bit more focused on your achievement and performance and rewards, right? If you think God is an amorphous force, then that has any number of consequences, mostly that God really just exists and doesn't care about the particulars. But the truth is, our picture of God matters a ton. There's this letter to the Ephesians that Paul wrote, and in it he says in verse 8, chapter 2, verse 8, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. This is not from yourselves, this is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." See, Paul is trying to deprogram his readers. He's trying to help them get a very accurate picture of God. He says, listen, this has nothing to do, your relationship with Jesus has nothing to do with your performance or your achievements. It has everything to do with God's great inclusion, God's great grace towards you. Here, verse 10, I love this verse. "For we are God's handiwork." Other translations, they say masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Your picture of God matters. Here's the picture of God I want you to focus on. He is, regardless of your experience with Father, a caring, tender, gentle, loving, resourcing Father who is present and for you and ahead of you. God cares about you, and it is by grace that he has included you into this family, not because of anything you've done, which is tremendous news for me and for you and for the people in our lives, because here's the thing, people who have been loved and given grace and included, they have no option when they've really experienced that, but to share it with others, and that's how we help one another follow Jesus.